All right, we are officially live, y'all. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Or maybe I should say, y'all should tell me welcome back, because
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
thank
Welcome
you.
back.
How long has it been? Man, but y'all know where I've been, where Blerd over has been, going here and there. It's con season, it's hitting heavy, still hitting heavy. Whew. It's a lot of, there's AY, there's these one-day conventions, there's Magic City Classic in Birmingham. There's all types of events going on. Like it's basically HBCU week over here right now. So it's the whole lot. But I'm so happy to be here, not only with you all, but to start it off with a bang, to be back, getting started with a bang with Miss Zakyla, ArtFitbyZakyla.
Hi, y'all. Thank you for having me. Truly. I felt like when we met, it was just the cutest thing. And so now to be here, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is real. It's so sweet.
It was. Yes, it was so nice. Like literally, like first of all, we met at DreamCon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And DreamCon had grown so much
Yes,
that,
y'all.
it was overwhelming.
Yes.
And the meeting place for everybody was the vendors area.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot remember where I was going to or what I was trying to find at the time, but I noticed your outfit and I was like, it's so cute. Like, where'd you get it from? Da da da. And, like, she was like, I made it. I was like, whole outfits, whole outfits. I was like, girl, I got to know your information. We got to get on. We got to do this thing. And here we are today.
Yes.
The connections that are made, y'all, the friends that are made.
And
I
also,
love
like,
it.
speaking to people that you see, right? You have to, like,
Oh,
put
yeah.
yourself out there. Like, we could just walk by each other and that would have been it. But the
Yeah.
fact that you stopped and we had a moment, that was so good.
You know what? For that really means a lot, because I feel like sometimes I never know if I can say I'm an introvert or an extrovert.
Right.
I'm just like, sometimes I just kind of balance between the two, but like DreamCon is just that time.
No,
And like I guess
we
you
could be
know
ourselves there. It was like, even if you wanted to, switch from introvert to extrovert, like once you found a little pocket of comfort, it was like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really what it felt like. And I was just like, I gotta say something. Like every time I see a crochet outfit, I just have to say something, because I'm just like, that represents the part of me that wants to like pick it back up again. And we're gonna get to that a little, in a second. We're gonna get to that part, y'all. But hey, let me start. I feel like the best way to start is to speak on, how you knew you had, a creative talent, like a creative gift. Like, where did that start from for you?
Okay. Um, so my mom is a hairstylist. And so
Mine too.
I've watched her create a lot. And so on the other side of that, I'm an only grandchild on my dad's side, so it's just me. I'm the only kid, and so I go spend the summer in the country with my granny, and I say country like dirt road, like in the country with my granny.
Oh, I thought you meant like another country. I was
No, in the country of Texas with my granny.
Oh.
And so what is there to do for a kid, right? So I was always introduced. I had like little bead sets, and I had the Play-Doh, and I had all those things growing up. I would experiment in the kitchen. Like, if it was crafty, I was kind of pushed to do it or allowed to do it in the house, making messes, do all of that stuff. And so crocheting didn't come until my last year of undergrad. And that was just kind of a surprise to me. I never thought, this never crossed my mind before then. I had an aunt who taught me how to loom knit. It's like this round thing with pegs, and you wrap the yarn around and you make stuff.
Oh yeah,
and so those. Yeah, I did like a few beanies, some scarves, little things like that. And in Texas, it don't get cold like that. Like, it get cold, but
except that one crazy winter that happened.
Like February be tricky, but other time it be warm in December, like 60 degrees in December. So it's always crazy. And so I realized that if I wanted to sell what I made, I needed to kind of switch gears. And so I just happened to have a crochet hook that also my aunt gave me. And I watched a YouTube video. I made this little rinky-dink crop top, and I was so happy with it. And I mean, it was like immediately, like when I go through my photos, it's so funny because I was making top after top after top, week after week after. I mean, it happened so fast. I loved it immediately. And I was designing my own things immediately. And so now I'm here, and it's like really crazy to think about because creativity has always been there, but now it's so focused on crochet, and it still makes me happy every day.
Ooh, we love that. Okay, look, y'all give it up. Y'all give it up. Cause to pursue what makes you happy and what fulfills you, and to share that with other people, that really speaks volumes, especially in today's day, because a lot of people, including me, can kind of like get in our own bubbles and be like, okay, I'm going to sit with what's comfortable, and then I'm going to build up on, you know, the things that I like to get into or something on the side. And it just kind of never happens because distractions, and we get used to that thing that makes us comfortable. So it's good to spread your wings and do that. And I gotta ask, like, how does your family feel now about what you're doing and like where you've taken it?
It's kind of funny. So I was a full-time teacher the last 5 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I just left teaching this past school year. So when I told my mom I wasn't going back to teaching, she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, that was a whole different thing." So we'll stick to the creativity part of it. But I mean, it's mostly been a lot of encouragement. I'm truly taking it day by day at this point. I feel like I officially went full-time artist August 1st. So it's just October, you know. So I mean, it's a lot of encouragement. Even up until this point, like I was stressed. I was like, what do I do? Like, how do I leave my major source of income to just be free? And today I do feel like it's just been good. I'm happy every day that I get to do what I want to do. I work at a yarn store part-time, and I also teach art classes to kids part-time. So I get to have fun when I go to work. So yeah, it's really cool.
That is so beautiful. So basically, you really stepped into it fully, like right after DreamCon then.
Literally right after DreamCon.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So that was also encouraging because that was just so many creative people in one space. Creative Black people in one space. I was like, yo, this is cool.
I think that's the beautiful thing about it. I always am so, happy to be one of the however many people there are who's been to that con since the beginning. And it just makes you feel like what you want to do is so possible. Like the things that you enjoy is so possible to see that through to the end. I think I had met your favorite senpai for the first time at like the first or second one. I mean, she already had a lot, a big following then, like over 5,000, but now she's at over 100. And I'm just like, dang, just like look at how, people are able to do that. Let me just commit and pour in. And like you said, like there's that, bread and butter thing that you're doing. And then there's like the thing that really takes off. And I was reading in a book that having a certain level of significance, people can see that in your product. So, the classes that you do, the products that you offer, the way that you, help people and spread what you enjoy, even though you took that big leap of faith out of what you were doing out of teaching, what you're doing now is going to go so much farther. It really is. Like you're going to be able to add to it like no other. I feel like now I'm just getting into like a lecture mode. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm getting into like lecture mode.
Which DreamCon was it? It was, of course, Waco. I mean, not Waco, Arlington. But this was the one where they had like Berlizzi was speaking. And like I remember him talking about like how many YouTube videos he made before like he ever got seen by like the masses. Like over 100 videos was on YouTube before people really knew who he was. And so at the end, he kind of had people come up and speak, and I was like in front of the stage, like me, like pick me. And I think I had some crochet pants that I made on that day, and I got to like speak in front of the crowd. And I didn't even really post that video anywhere, but it's just cool that like DreamCon and like my craft go hand in hand right now. Like I always feel really good showing off what I've done and being proud of what I've done there. And so I loved it. It was so cool.
Dang, how did I miss that? Cause like, girl, I'm easy gang all day. I got I got his YouTubes in the background over here. Like, it's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
But it was so crowded. I probably missed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to post it one
Girl, there are things from 2018 I have yet to post. So I promise you, I'm like an editor, a YouTuber in the making with years of videos.
That's always good.
I just gotta make them. Like, they're just piled up in my phone, like so crazy. But nice to see a fellow easy gang girl, you know. We're eggs. So, you know, let's get more into how you got into crocheting, right? So as far as like, you know, the undergrad, you know, experience that you had, you know, I really got to learn crocheting on one level first before I got to know it on like, you know, clothes. Like, I've seen people like add crocheting to hair. Like, have you done that before?
I haven't I've used the latch hook to like slide the hair in, but I haven't done like crochet braids myself. That's funny because people always ask, they're like, oh, you do hair? And I'm like, no, I do not do hair.
Yeah, because like it feels like so foreign. I was like, what kind of creative hand do you have to know that you can put that into our hair? Like, how does that happen? Like, that's so interesting to me. But you know, one day maybe I'll figure that out. Maybe we'll go on that journey together. I don't know. Now, of course, like with us meeting each other on, you know, on the nerd side of things, you saying, you know, with this being, you know, a blurred space overall, you know, I got to ask about your origin with the nerd space too, with the blurred space. So where did that start for you? Like, how did you know that you were a blurred?
So it's so funny because I remember starting One Piece, right? And it was recommended to me, and I was like, this is boring. I was like, I couldn't get past the first few episodes. And I was like, no, just keep going. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I mean, it's cool, but like, it's not really. And then I got hooked. And this was like 2018, 2019. And then I was, I mean, I guess and so I started rewatching things that I used to watch when I was younger. So I rewatched Full Metal, and I rewatched Bleach. You know, like, and I was like, oh, I've been watching this, right? But I didn't realize, you know, that's what it was because I was always doing other things. And so it really wasn't until like teaching, you know, the kids, they're into that. And so like, you know, having conversations with them and then realizing just like, I'm a sucker for just a good origin story. And I know that I have a good origin story. And so it's like one of my feel good things, honestly, to watch tragedy happen and people still persevere. And so I think that that's one thing that brought me into it. And then my sister and my nephew and some of my friends. And so it's just like this big blurry space. And I didn't realize that, you know, that was another way for the people around me to connect as well. And so now, like, my nerdiness for anime, my nerdiness for yarn, like, look at my yarn wall. I love yarn.
Yes, like, we're gonna get to that next.
Yes, I nerd out over the things I love. Like, it's never unclear the things that I like because the obsession is there.
Oh wow. Okay. So it's good to hear that side of things because like sometimes you never know like what people's backgrounds are when it comes to being into like the nerdy stuff. Like, you know, typically it's the story of like, oh, like it's generally around. So I knew of it and things. And then there's that one thing that truly gets you into it. And then most people are kind of like alone in it. For me, I always had like one friend here and there who was into it. And I don't know, I guess over time I just kept going to cons by myself and just building up friends over time with that. And you know, other people have like tougher stories. You know, there's the founder of this group, Blerd Over. You know, he went through bullying experiences, and you know, that speaks to him and a lot of other people. So, you know, when you're talking about your friends and your family and the people around you getting into it, like that's just, it's so nice to hear.
It is, you know? It really is.
It really is. And for those of you out there, you know, especially the ones who have been to our panels and like who were a part of the older generation who's still just kind of getting comfortable with expressing themselves about it, it's okay. This is a safe space to show you that it's cool to be a creative blerd, to be a blerd of any kind. You know, we out here making it cool. Just to let y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, we got to talk about this art wall because that looks like a lot of hard work. Y'all, look at all that. I was just telling her before we got started, I was like, I got a little bit over here and then it's just like blah. And on the other side, just like dark and just, I should have turned a light on or something back there. I don't know. But girl, tell us about that. Like, how long did that take? Like, how did you get it together? You know, it looks like a large cubby thing too.
Yeah,
it looks heavy.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So being a crocheter is one thing that it's always said that like collecting yarn is also a hobby because I just like having it. I like looking at it. And so in November of last year, I was just like, I need to put money towards my space, like my creative space. And so I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. This is actually the 1 bedroom. I moved my bed out so that I could have this art room. Like, and I don't regret it at all. Yeah. I'm like, this was the move I needed to make. And so I needed to kind of figure out how I wanted to store it. I used to have like the little Pinterest trendy pegboard with all the yarn on it, but I don't use that kind of yarn anymore. I'm into more like natural fibers. And so that took a change. Yeah, when I started learning about different types of yarn.
Okay, like, that's the next question. We're gonna get there.
So I was like, I feel like if I made the commitment, things would fall in place, which they did. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a space. And so I went to IKEA and I got this 5x5 big old shelf. I had to have my best friend's fiance come put it together for me because I tried my first time. I had to take it back because I broke it, and so I had to wait for help. It was honestly sad. It was just boxes everywhere, and I was like, I cannot do this by myself. But I did it, and even when I started, it wasn't even this much yarn. But knowing that I had the space to get more, I was buying. I was like, I don't even know what to make with some of this stuff, but I was buying because I just like having it. It's a problem, honestly. But
hey, you're stocking up on inventory.
So the yarn store I work at, I kind of picked up a few things from there, just understanding organization of yarn. And so people sometimes ask me like why colors aren't what colors, but it's for a reason. It's because it's organized by the brand of yarn and the size of the yarn and then the color of the yarn. And so that's kind of my thinking process when I'm creating projects. I'm looking to see what I have across one of those fields, if I have enough for something, and then I go from there.
Wow. It just keeps getting deeper with like understanding the different aspects of, you know, crocheting and making these types of materials. So, you know, you talked about like natural fibers. Like, let's get into that a little bit more. Like, what are the different fibers and all? What goes into that, sizes and all that?
I get to nerd out. Yeah. Okay. So,
yes, girl.
When a lot of us are introduced to crochet or even fiber arts, even knitting or whatever, we go to like Michael's, Joann's, Walmart, these big box stores, Hobby Lobby for yarn. And a lot of what they carry is acrylic yarn, which is essentially plastic. It's man-made. And so while that's fine, the older I got, I started getting more exposed to different types of yarn. And so I'm like a hot girl crocheter. I like the shorts and the little bitty tops. Right. And so I tend to stick with more cotton and bamboo type fibers. They're durable. Bamboo is so soft. It can be very like silky like. And it comes in very, very nice colors. And so I'll do a little bit of acrylic, like I'll have like a cotton acrylic blend if I need to make something very big. But then after working at the yarn store, I'm like, oh, there's no acrylic in this store. And so there's like wool and there's alpaca and there's linen and just like yak. And I'm just like, whoa, I didn't even know that these were things. Like,
the more you know.
No, seriously, it opened up. I was like, whoa, I didn't even understand that it was all out there. And so my favorites, I have mostly cotton. I have a lot of cotton bamboo. And I'm starting to get into cotton wool because it's getting a little cooler. And so I think I like the blend of a cotton wool. There's one that's like a cotton, no, it's like a wool cashmere silk. It's amazing. I know, right? It just sounds luxurious.
I was just like, how does that blend together?
It's so good. It feels so nice. It's so fun. And so now that I'm exploring more of those things, I mean, I feel like I just started all over again. Like I'm learning so much all over again.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you for like, taking that on, just because like, yeah, because like I feel like for me, I can get so overwhelmed, like, thinking that like I got it and I understand it. And then I see like this mass of things that I did not know existed. And so it's like two ways you can look at it at that point. It's like, oh, okay, it's too much. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Like,
yeah,
more to go. That's the spirit to have. Okay.
Yes.
That really is. I feel like, when you say like bamboo and stuff like that, I'm just thinking Rihanna. Like, I'm just like, I feel like she would know this exclusive stuff. I don't know. It's like, it's from the islands. Like, how?
It's so good. Like, and you're like, who thought of that, right?
Yeah. But bamboo into clothes?
Bamboo, and it's my favorite. Cotton bamboo I made a lot of shorts and a lot of clothes out of cotton bamboo. So it's been a lot of fun.
Wow.
When you think about the fact that like with the wool, they have to, raise the sheep, shear the sheep, process the wool, dye the wool, spin the wool, all these things before it even gets in your hands. And then it kind of makes you respect it more, because another part of it, and I think why I gravitated to crochet, is because it's pretty sustainable when you do it right. When you think about like sewing, for instance, once you cut wrong, ain't no going back. But with crochet, I can literally rip the project out. It hurts people's feelings when they watch it. It kind of hurts my feelings sometimes too, but it is what it is. If I made a mistake, I can rip it out. I can reuse yarn. And I think that's like a big deal for me, especially using something that can go back into the earth after a few hundred years. That makes me feel good about using it.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. I think that's a good long-term way. Well, that's the fact of the matter, that's a good long-term part of thinking about it in perspective. Because I would have never thought about like the different, ways to approach it. I feel like if I looked at it, if I'm pulling out the strings, it's like, all that hard work, like blood, sweat, and tears, and doing all this with your fingers and all that.
Oh my gosh. Let me pause a little bit. So I made my outfit for the Beyonce concert. And that might have been the most stress I've been in, creating something, and I was like, nothing should ever be that serious ever again for me. And creating, it was just stressful for no reason.
What happened?
Okay. So another part of my crochet journey, and why I named ArtFit is because I truly want to make art that fits. And when I first started crocheting, I was watching YouTube videos, following their patterns, little cute halter tops and crop tops and stuff. And my boobs are big, and I couldn't fit none of that stuff I made. So I would have like my roommates try it on, or like I finally got a mannequin. But I actually wasn't comfortable making tops for myself. And there also wasn't a lot of videos or a lot of patterns out there for fuller busted women. And so it kind of pissed me off, because I'm like, I want to make this too. And so it kind of, part of it had me hide. So I didn't even start really modeling what I make until 2020, until the pandemic, when we couldn't see anybody. So I was like, you know what? This is the time to finally make something that fits my body the way that I like, the way that I'm proud of, and I can show it off. And so I was making the bottoms, and that went well. Making the top did not go so well, because I was trying to figure out a style that would work, that would also be supportive. Do I have to wear a bra with this? The things women have to think about before, trying to be out there and trying to be cute. Because if it was a little bitty titty top, it would be done.
Like, do I need some little cover?
Right.
It's like, what is it?
Support in this top. So I was trying to figure that out. I was literally making the outfit till the day of, till hours before. I had ripped the shirt out so many times, so many different ideas. It's not even what I wrote down. Also, I thought I was running out of the yarn, which I kind of was. It was a whole thing, but it turned out so cute. And that's another thing. Like, I realized there's vintage yarn. So people will stop making yarn, and if you can't get it no more, you can't get it anymore.
Really?
Yeah. So, get it while you can. And if not, you may not have an opportunity anymore.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Dang. Just there's so many levels to this stuff that I just didn't realize. Like, especially with like, I think creating outfits was something that I would have never imagined myself just because I do feel like, oh, okay, maybe it'll fall apart or something. But then, like, for me, I started seeing it at, different markets and festivals, like these different vendors
Little
have certain
toys and
things
stuff.
set up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And little shoes, little baby clothes. Like, what? How did you, like, is this gonna, am I gonna mess up with a string? But
Yeah.
somehow, I wish I had that. I don't even know if I have that bag around me. I have to see, but oh, hold on. I want to say that it's. Oh gosh, let me see if I can look through here. But actually, no. This might be knitting. Okay, I'm not gonna waste time trying to look through stuff. But yeah, people just like had bags that were like so sturdy that I could like carry to the grocery store. I'm just like, what kind of arm you gotta have? For all of that. Like, so, to each their own on that, to each their own. Now, as far as like fits and different things that you can make, what would you say is like your favorite thing that you've made up to this point? Tough one.
I know, right? I think that it would probably be the bottoms that I made for the Beyonce concert, because they're like briefs at the bottom and they have fringe all over them, and the movement of it is very, very nice. Second thing though is my granny square outfit. It's like a top and pants. And even making those pants, I thought they were going to be a sweater. I was just making squares. I didn't know what I was going to turn them into. So maybe I'll make a sweater. Then I realized I wanted to make pants because I'm really good at shaping for bottoms. And so that outfit, every time I wear it, I'm just like, oh yeah, I did that. It's pretty cute.
Okay, look, you got the you got your perfection item. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not mad at it. And I understand your pain, to be honest, as far as like, for the top part.
Yes.
Because like I'm small, like I'm a size 4, but the chest is a different story.
Yes.
And so like I can have a small shirt, but I have to go up to a medium because it's like, well,
yeah,
and then it doesn't fit how I want it to fit, but that's just what's out there. And so I didn't think to like, oh, okay, let me see if I can do something for myself, or like see, if anybody knows about, what can be done. So you open up that lane for yourself.
I went through the rabbit hole. I was like, I'm ready to get a breast reduction after the Beyonce incident. I was just
like, no,
I don't even want these no more, yo. Take them away. I was just like, bro. But my mom was like, no, don't go under the knife. I'm just like, but then I would have been done so much faster, But I guess that's part of the challenge. So I'm sure that somebody out there needs, help creating tops for them, and that's what I want to help with.
Oh, absolutely. Like myself and one of my line sisters, if y'all don't know what, line sisters are, I'm talking about my sorority. We joined at the same time together, 6 of us. My line sister, her, it's even worse for her. I'll just say it like that. So we understand the pain. There are more of us out there. We need it. Yeah. And so I'm thankful that, this starts with you,
No, facts. Because a lot of feedback that I get from, especially like younger crocheters, that the patterns that are available out there are not cute. And if they are, they're not made for people who actually got body. So I'm like, okay, I hear you. I hear y'all. I promise I'm working on something. I'm figuring it out, because we deserve to look and feel good in things that we make too. So
yes, because I honestly, yes, y'all. And okay, so from the picture that y'all saw, where you took our first picture together and everything, you had like this spaghetti strap that fits your body so nice. And like that's what I think about, because like spaghetti strap stuff or things with like a certain like V cut or anything, like, I feel like it always looks so good and so like nice and decent on
it's appropriate on smaller topped people. Yes.
Right. And so I'm just like, I will look like I'm auditioning for something if I put it on.
Yes, literally the same thing. You do a side-by-side comparison. You're like, oh, you in the streets and you know, somewhere.
You're such a sweetheart.
Yeah, you know, it's
You can go to church.
It's wild out there.
So,
Yeah,
I when I saw you pull that out, I was like, finally, because I was looking at the picture more when I made the post. I was like, she doing it right. Okay, she doing it right, girl. So that was just right.
Yeah.
And I feel like everything I gotta add, so I'm gonna stop saying it at the beginning. But as far as you taking that, step forward into well, actually, let me back up a bit. Have you sold your products before, like as far as like setting up things, or like how did making it into a business start for you, like pushing yourself forward into branding yourself?
Yeah.
Quite the story.
The name ArtFit came very soon into my creating, but I think that it's evolved into something I never thought it would be now. I knew I wanted to make clothes for myself. I was immediately making clothes and making clothes for other people. So along the way, I've had custom orders for people, but none of that paid the bills. And so also I was in grad school and then teaching through all of that as well. And so I didn't even have a lot of time to focus on crocheting, so it was just like my side project all the time. And that's when I was really unhappy because I didn't have, my creative outlet that I wanted. And so when the pandemic hit, that's when it all came back. And so I remembered that I was a designer, that I could create whatever I wanted and make it fit how I wanted. And so I launched my website in February 2022. And so it's a bit of a blog and shop. I have yet to add more posts to my blog, but I'm working on that. I'm getting my mojo back, hopefully.
Yeah, it's the season. It's the season.
Yeah, it's now or never. And so with selling things, like I've done some markets and things like that, but I realized that, there's no crochet machine. For those of you who do not know, you cannot replicate this. There's a knitting machine for people that knit. There is no crochet machine. So whatever crochet you see out in the world, whether it's at Target or Nordstrom, it don't matter. Somebody made that by hand.
Wow.
Someone made it somewhere by hand. Like, you cannot replicate it at all. It's just a bit too intricate for what a machine can do. And so I am the machine, and I am only one person. And so that mass production would never be a thing. And so I realized, and honestly, I kind of started taking offense because people kept asking me, do you have a pattern? Do you have a pattern? Did you write it? And I'm like, why would you, you just want to make exactly what I made? I'm trying to sell this. I want somebody to buy it. I want somebody to place an order with me. 3 years later now, though, I'm like, oh, but pattern sales is what makes crocheters money. And
what do you mean by that? Like pattern set, pattern.
So people that crochet and knit and do other things that are in the fiber arts, a lot of people want to recreate it. And so what they'll do is they'll write down the instructions and tell them how to do it. And they'll sell that for $5 to $10 or whatever. But there's at the time I was just confused because I'm like, I took my time trial and erroring this to figure out
that's the blueprint.
And I'm not just gonna give it to you. But I've changed because I understand
development.
I'll never be able to make 100 parodies, in whatever amount of time. So if you want to, I want people to make things for themselves. And so now I realize that my market is, people who want to make for themselves, people who want to have this crochet closet. Because it's designer. I don't know what anybody thinks about it, but it's designer. It's not big box nothing, and it will never be. And so people want luxury but may not be able to afford buying it themselves. And so the second best thing is to make it yourself. And so I can help people. I can guide them into making something that they'll have in their closet. And I want people to have staples. You need a good pair of shorts, you need a good pair of pants, you need a few good tops, right? Something you can switch out all the time, because we wear stuff like that anyway. And so to be able to make your own version of that is like really cool. So now I'm open to, or I'm in the process of writing patterns and learning how to do that so that people out there can make things for themselves.
Wow. Dang, I just didn't know there was like another type of business
Mm-hmm.
for that, I guess. Like, because when you said patterns at first, I thought like, okay, maybe you make like a certain like set of squares and like, you know, the same type of pattern, and like people want to get them and put it together in their own way or something like that. But I didn't know it was like the true instruction.
Start to finish. From, can you recommend what kind of yarn they should use, what size hook they should use, and then you go into the pattern. And most people, you know, will have different sizes, but like I have a heavy pressure to be very size inclusive. And size inclusive is not just like stopping at extra large, you know. So I need to make sure that it looks good on every size, on every body. And so that's been driving me nuts, because it's a little fear as well. I've never done it. And so I've always made things for myself or people that are close that can try it on and things like that. And so just learning measurements, learning, you know, how bodies look at in different sizes. And, you know, not everybody's stomach is the same length, or legs are the same length or the same width. And so it's also figuring out how to tailor patterns, or how to get people to tailor their own patterns so they can have it fit in the best way.
Wow. I think that would be a fear of mine, because when it's on you and when it's for you, I feel like it's like cooking. Like, you know, I can mess up for me. Like I can, you know, if it's a little too salty or something, it's okay. But like when it's starting to go to other people, and it's like, oh, like that's when it's really serious. Like, okay, like I feel like I would get so overwhelmed with like, okay, I gotta like measure it this way and like complete this product to fit this person just right. You know, it just feels different. So there's a lot of growth.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's a just right theory?
It's a just right thing. No, not theory, thing.
I was like,
but yeah, because I want people to, again, feel comfortable in what they have. And so it's gonna take some effort, but I'm gonna do it.
I know that's right. Yeah. I know that's right. And you know what? It's as far as, you know, taking it into selling it to other people, like selling the things that you make to people. How many times have you done that now? And you know, you said you've been to different markets and stuff, and like how did you transition, or like have you transitioned into selling at anime conventions too? How's that journey been?
I haven't yet. Part of that is because, again, up until now I had a full-time job. And so even just sitting down to make inventory takes lots and lots of hours. And so I haven't had a lot of time to create inventory for another market or another show. I want to. I have things online, but that hasn't even been updated. And honestly, my, what's it called? I was feeling down about selling things because they weren't selling like I thought. Like I have a good product, you know, it looks good. I would wear it. I know other people would wear it, but a lot of the issue comes from pricing, and
because it's a lot of hard work behind it.
It's a lot of hard work, and art costs money. I don't think people remember that, but you know, art costs money. There is a cost, and now that I'm a full-time artist, I'm like, yo, look, I'm not wavering on the prices. And so more so finding, you know, the special custom orders that I feel, you know, happy to create. And then I'll do something called samples. So I'll make other people's patterns for stores or for yarn makers or yarn dyers. And so I can get paid from that. Teaching also helps because I teach crochet classes as well. But selling the stuff, it just wasn't happening. Like people were not spending their money, and that was hurting my feelings for a while.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, it is what it is, because I still know that I have a good product regardless. And so
amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. It really is tough because I think a lot of people associate clothes with like just, you know, the typical like t-shirts or whatever you can find at the store, and $10-15, and that's it.
The fast fashion.
The fast part, they're just, that fast cash type of stuff. And even myself, I didn't even know until today, like, that there was no crochet machine. I figured that, I think you said this, the wheel where you made scarves. What was it called?
Yeah, like a knitting loom.
A loom. So like I thought that there was some type of like machine going, because I saw that somewhere at a convention in Huntsville, and they had this huge like loom, I guess it was called, and I thought maybe that was, I just had no knowledge of it. And so I think if more people knew the story and understood it as like, you kind of have to view it less so as the clothes, comparing it to clothes, and like you said, put it in the art category, like you're in an art gallery. So maybe it could be like your ArtFit brand, presented as an art gallery, and that like educate people more on the true value of it. I feel I'm like forming my own like thoughts of it now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's what it makes me think about. And I think definitely like you would have, a great space in, one day cons or, huge cons and things like that. Because, it stopped me.
Yeah.
That was your normal outfit.
I did see a couple crochet outfits, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Because I went to a few panels that were like cosplay creation, but it was mostly sewing.
Yeah. I think that's really popular now.
There were a few people that crocheted their outfits, and I was like, yes, I love it. I'm very, very happy to see it. So definitely, I think that exposure and education is needed for the craft, and I'm excited to like push that forward.
Have you made anything, kind of combining like the two loves between like your creative and like you enjoying going to cons? Like, have you ever made anything like nerd related before?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I want to. I definitely want to. Even my friend was like, yeah, you should make us all outfits this year. And I was like, yeah, that's not happening. Maybe like 3 years from now, that was way too much pressure, way too fast. I was like, yeah, that's not happening. But
it's like, you don't know what goes on with it, y'all.
Yeah. It's exciting to even think about, honestly, because the scope is there to just do whatever I want to do. And so, yes, one day, not yet, but one day.
Okay. Y'all stay tuned for it. Y'all stay tuned. Like we're definitely looking forward to it. And another thing that, I definitely wanted to mention when we were talking about your start to being a Blerd is like, what was it that got you like truly, like, I know you said you got into one piece. Is that still like your number one to this day? Or like what's been like your top three?
Okay. One Piece, of course. My Hero is my number 2. My number 3 fluctuates, but if I needed to pick one today, Yu Yu Hakusho for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I feel like,
that's really right now.
That's gonna speak to a lot of people, and that definitely that'll speak to a lot of people. Because are you like into the manga or the anime only? And
anime mostly, because when I'm reading too much, I'm like, I need to be crocheting. I need to do something with my hands. And so I watch animation because I can work while I'm watching. But if I get the downtime, the manga will happen. I like to read. That's been a thing for a very long time as well. I can nerd out on some books as well. So yes, animation. And I went to my first con with my sister and my nephew, and it was like Anime Dallas. It was very different from DreamCon.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yes. But it was still cool. So when we found out about DreamCon, we were like, oh my gosh, like that's even better. And so that was like 2018, 2019. So that's when I started going to cons. So a lot of this is like recent.
Oh wow.
And a lot of fun. So yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to see, more of us. Look, DreamCon almost had me move to Texas
Austin.
way back when.
Yeah.
That was Waco at that point.
Waco.
Girl, I
Yeah.
was ready. I was ready.
Mhm.
I didn't even know about the whole HGTV stuff in Waco. I just knew who I was
Right.
there to see.
Yep. Yep. Mhm.
Oh, excuse me, y'all. I got a cold. It's not what you think it is. I'm
Yes.
negative.
She's gonna
But
get better real soon.
I am. We're just gonna pray, and I'm gonna try not to have a cough attack. But if I do, I'm gonna just go on mute, and we're gonna pray.
Mhm.
So now, actually, before we get to that, as far as the One Piece, with it being your number one, what do you think about the live action?
You know what? Okay, so I didn't know if I was gonna watch it at first, but I actually liked it. And one thing I liked the most about it was just the different ethnicities of the character and how they were able to capture that in a live action, because we can see it on the anime and it's easy to draw characters, right? But like to find, you know, a cast that can encompass what they have in the manga and what they have in the animation, it's like, oh, okay, y'all put some thought behind that, and I can respect that. Yeah, I was happy with it for sure. I was a little nervous, but
especially with Netflix.
Yes, so, but yeah, they were as true as they could be with what they had, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like, don't hate me for this. I am in an on and off relationship with One Piece.
That's fine.
I feel like it's the hype on, the first two you named with My Hero and One Piece. I feel like the hype usually keeps me from watching things. So I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'll get to it. And, there's hype around Yu Yu Hakusho too. And I have not seen that either outside of the first few episodes. I know.
Tonight.
I'm gonna get my anime card pulled. Like, Lord.
Tonight, please. That would be nice.
I gotta get on it. Maybe that'll be like my end of the year resolution.
Yeah.
To at least, be somewhat caught up. But it's, especially like I watched the first few episodes of One Piece, the live action, and it's kind, it's encouraging me a little bit. It's encouraging me, and like you said, I like the diversity. Oh my gosh, this cough is coming out. But I like the diversity. What do they have? They have Latino, they have Asian, they have, white, black, Irish, everything. A little bit of everything. And so I was like, okay, I'm digging it. It's making me look forward to what's next. I think they divide the episodes into volumes, and I was like, okay, it's flowing really well. Give me 1 second to get this.
Yes, Cop, go ahead. Yeah, but she gonna be healed, y'all. She gonna be healed.
Lord Jesus, you're right. I should have made some tea. I'm just like, like it just keeps, But, I was like, well, I almost made it through to the end of this, but hey, it's okay.
It's okay.
We're going to power through. Now, with that being said, as far as what I'm looking down at,
Yeah, that right there. That's the one.
We got the hook, y'all. We got the hook. Let me get the dust off of it.
No.
Let me get the dust off of it a little bit.
It's always ready when you're ready for it.
I love that. Because, so this is mine. I don't even know what size. I think I just got like the standard, size that was, I think it was at Michael's or something like that. And like you said, I just got yarn just sitting here, right? I will say a long time ago, I started, I did a little something.
Yeah.
I did a little something, I guess it's like it still got the string attached, it was never finished. I guess I was making a coaster or something. But I don't know if it was a YouTube video or if it was like an instruction book I had. But I was like, okay, it's looking pretty strong, looking durable.
Your stitches look even. That's a good job, okay? That's good. That's good.
Girl,
That's what I like to see.
Girl. And so I feel like, well, first of all, thank you. Thank you. And I feel like I represent a lot of people who are in like the start and never finish game. I definitely am. And every time I see a crochet outfit or a crochet anything, I'm just like, man, why don't I pick this back up? What is wrong with me? So, especially knowing that like you go through classes and that you like teach, you know, we're gonna act like I'm the kid today. I got, what is this, like a red velvet type of thing? We gonna figure out the 1, 2, 3s, the ABCs, and the 1, 2, 3s. So, you know, if I'm in your class, you know, and I, you know, this is what I brought to school today. You know, how will we get started? You know, how, you know, if it's possible to kind of do that online.
So the first thing that I teach is a slip knot. Hold on, let me grab some yarn. So you have to be able to make the starting knot to get your yarn on your hook. And so people make slip knots different ways. I make mine a certain way, and I'll show you how I make mine. Are you right-handed?
Yeah, I'm right-handed.
Okay.
Let me expand the screen. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So in my right hand, I take the tail of my yarn. So you have the tail, you have the working yarn. That's what's attached to the ball. And so I point out my left index finger, and I lay the yarn over just like that.
Oh my gosh, am I crazy? Okay.
You want to wrap it one time, so it should just look like that. It should be hanging from both sides. Yep, do one more wrap.
Okay, let me extend it.
Yep, like that, just like that. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna do it backwards, but it still works the same way. So the yarn that's on the inside of your finger, gently pick that up and place it over the outside.
Girl, your nails are fire. Okay.
Wait, go to the camera.
Ooh, it's spooky season,
it's
girl.
Spooky season. Okay.
This was the perfect time to show that off. Okay.
Okay, so then I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the second one, the one that's on the inside, and I'm gonna pull it all the way off my finger, but you have to leave the first strand on. So what that looks like is when I pick it up, I kind of loosen it, and I want to slide it all the way off my finger, leaving that other loop on, and then I just kind of pull down on those strings.
On the bottom strings?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did you take it off? Let me watch you do it again.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Something's loose.
Wait, pull the short string. Pull the short string.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then slide it off your finger. Take it off. Yeah, it's your slip knot. Okay, good.
Oh Lord.
So that's
so
what
hard.
you put on your hook. And you want to
Okay.
kind of tighten down on it. Let me grab.
I'm learning, y'all.
You're learning. You're freaking good at it.
I'm definitely going back to this part of the video. Okay, like, okay, what you gotta do?
So you put it on your hook, and then you want to kind of pull it to where it's a little tight. Not too tight, it should still be able to move. So that's first, right? And of course, from here, you make a chain. And you've made a chain before because you have your stitches. But the chain is the foundation for any crochet project that you will ever do, unless you're going in a circle. But that's another time. So the chain, some crochet language, we yarn over and pull through. And so all that means is that my yarn is going... Yeah, my grip...
Girl, you did this. Oh, you did one of these.
People grip their yarn different ways. I'll show you how I grip mine. Okay. So with your left hand, you want to spread your fingers, and you want to take your yarn on that hook and wrap it around your pinky from inside to outside. Leave it right there. Just leave it there. And then turn your whole hand.
Okay.
Yep, just like that. And so you kind of pull the yarn across a little bit. Go ahead, pull that tail out of there. Get it out your way. Good. So your index finger goes under the yarn. Yep. Okay, so go ahead and touch your middle finger and your thumb for me. And so that's what holds the knot. So that slip knot we just made, yeah, right there.
Okay.
Which means your right hand should be able to move kind of freely in and out, right? Yeah,
Okay.
nice like that. And so when I'm making
Okay.
a chain, I'm just yarning over and pulling through. So that means that I just wrap the yarn around the hook and I pull it through the hole, the loop that's already there.
Okay.
Almost.
Did we
Over
get it?
and
Okay.
over and over again. And so
Okay.
you
And then
make
we
a
grab
chain.
it.
And
And
wrap
then
it. Yep, like that. Twist that hook. Yeah, and pull it through the loop.
Oh, it's been a while, y'all. I'm
Nice.
relearning.
Yeah, just like that.
And then you kind of pull. Okay. Oh, I'm about to make a scarf, y'all.
No,
Hold
that's why you
on.
got to make a long chain and just keep going back and forth on it.
Wow.
So
okay.
After a while, you'll have this nice little chain.
Did you just do that?
Yeah.
I looked down for like
it's fine.
2 seconds. Wow. Wow, you did that so fast. It's so crazy.
Okay, let me see what it looks like. Do a few more and then show me. Yep, yarn over.
I feel like it got a little loose.
Pull it through. It's okay. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't keep trying to tighten it. It's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yep, you're doing good. Moving your hand up the chain. It's helping you keep tension. Okay, let me see.
Okay, this is how we're looking.
It looks good. Yeah.
Look at me, y'all. Look, we about to get into a new trade over here. Dang, I just thought I would never, be able to pick it up again. Like, I mean, I did it before, but it's like the parts about how to start it, I feel like, was the hardest for me to grasp with all the, and the double this and like pull it over that. And I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna get there. So as far as like what you did, so did you get, to get comfortable with this, through watching YouTube or through watching family members or,
Yeah, I don't know anyone. How was that? I didn't meet anyone who personally crocheted for a very long time.
Okay.
A lot of it was YouTube and what I saw online. So the first top I made was a halter top. It didn't fit me, of course. I had my roommate try it on. And then I realized the video that I watched, she was actually teaching me kind of wrong on some things. And so I had to relearn some things later on. But yeah, and now I have like books about it. And I like books, videos, and just learning from people. And I like a good, cool technique. Like anybody who does anything, it's always nice to learn something cool. But yeah, if people want to learn, YouTube is always great. YouTube University is always great. If you're looking to learn in person, look for like your local yarn store. Not everybody is fortunate to have them, but some cities and some states do have yarn shops that are around, and so they typically will teach classes there if you're more like an in-person learner. And then if you want to keep it old school, you can learn from a book. They have very nice visual books out there as well. And then just practice,
I feel like we're both kind of like...
Yeah, just trying. That's all it is. And then from there, after chains, you learn like a single crochet stitch. And that's, like the most basic stitch. My favorite stitch is a double crochet stitch. That's what I make a lot of my clothes and stuff out of. I just like it. It has a good flow, a good movement in it. But yeah.
You know what? This was so nice. Like, honestly, I appreciate you because you definitely did something for me to start and spark this up again. And I'm sure, like, for those listening and following along, this helps make it more real for them too, like our own little one-on-one type of thing.
Yeah.
And you know, we are getting to the end of that hour now, but I want to ask, like, you know, what's next for you? Like, you know, what, you know, where do you want to take it? Like, you know, where, you know, I know, like, you know, the convention part hasn't come up yet, but you know, opening up stores, or you know, how are we looking for the future?
So I would like to start YouTube, because I want to teach on a bigger platform. I want to create patterns as well. I would very much so love to travel and teach classes in different places, because just how they have conventions for anime, they have conventions for yarn, and they just is crazy. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. What? Yeah, like, it's so, talk about nerding out on something. The yarn conventions are that place for me too now. I went to my first one in September, and it was a lot of fun.
I can't believe that. That's so cool.
So if I'm like dreaming super big, I want to create my own line of yarn. I would love to see like more crochet and fashion week in different, you know, countries. That would be very cool. And so I'm really just ready for it to blow my mind, honestly, and see what happens.
I love that. I don't think I would have even, you know, thought that big, like fashion week, and I definitely didn't know about cons. Like, there's just so many spaces. This is what I love about doing this, y'all. There are like things you just don't know are out there to go to be a part of, to learn from,
to find a community.
Like I said, you know, we connected over the nerd space stuff, and you know, now that's opened me up to understanding like there's a whole, you know, crochet community, like convention style, and so many angles to take it. And like,
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It really is. And having your own line, girl, I know that's right. Now I can't stop. Like,
and you're doing it while you're talking, which means like your hands are in the right space, your mind's in the right space. Like, look at that. I love it.
It's just so peaceful.
I love it.
It's so peaceful. Now I'm just like, I guess I mean like a little choker or something. I don't know.
I've done it.
A little bracelet. I gotta put this down. But as far as, you know, where people can find you, you know, social media, websites, you know, can you, shameless plug, plug yourself, girl.
Of course. So Zakyla the Crocheter can be found on Instagram and TikTok at ArtFitbyZakyla. I crochet when I like your granny, and I'm here to make your art fit. Okay. Also, my website is doesyourartfit.com. And so I will start blogging more. I have a lot of opinions, and I'm just not sure where to talk about them. But, you know, I think that as a Black woman in this crafty space is heavily populated by people that don't look like me. And so I'm just ready to push forward and be loud, honestly, because I'm good at what I do. And I have to like say that more and more, because, you know, I know that people see that, and I just love art to be appreciated and Black women to be appreciated. And so I'm excited about everything that's going to come. So yes, doesyourartfit.com for the website, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And interact with me. I'm a real person and I talk back. So yeah.
She is, y'all. She is the real person. I promise she is. Like, I can't thank you enough for, you know.
I'm like, oh my gosh, we did it. I'm happy.
Yes, this is so wonderful. Oh, somebody just commented they didn't. Yes, this was live, but it's going to be automatically saved right after, so you didn't miss out. But, you know, thank you so much. This is so wonderful. Or I guess this is somebody who knows you. That's my friend. It says Big World Lil Buck.
Yeah, that's my friend right there. That's my friend. He wore his custom art fit to DreamCon a few years ago. I made him a nice bucket hat. This amazing design. He designed it. I just executed it. And so, yes, love you, friend.
Came together.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we love the support. We love it. Thank you so much. You know, I'm glad you're able to hop on it, even if it was on the tail end. You know, it's just in time. Still, it was. And, you know, I'm rooting for you. You know, we're rooting for you. You know, I'm so happy for you and just, thankful for the experience. This is wonderful. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes,
I'm gonna
it
keep going.
was. Yes, I appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. I can't wait to see how the journey goes. And I'm gonna have to update you on, my
Let
my
me
journey
know.
now too.
Let me know. Show me what you're working on, please.
I will. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, this hour went by
It
so
did.
fast.
It did.
But we will see more of each other at different cons. We definitely gonna have to link up again and just keep having fun from here. And y'all remember to keep having fun.
Yes,
and
please.
Bet on yourself. If you didn't
Yes.
learn anything else, bet on yourself.
Yes.
Yes, y'all. But I can't wait to see you all, at the next whatever live happens, whether it's a podcast, interview, K-drama review, or we just
Because
make
she's
whatever
back,
we
y'all.
want.
She said she's back. She's back. So tune in.
I'm back. Tune in. Thank you. But with that being said, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we will see y'all next time.